So what we need to do here, as we say, is to decarbonize every drop of water. We need to be able to provide water services for a growing population in a world that's impacted by climate change and doing it low carbon.
What a nice image of that. These slim, sleek pumps. You often hear people say that money makes the world go round, but it could actually be argued that it's pumps, specifically water pumps. Yet, for something so vital, water is often treated as an afterthought. Water is deeply entangled with how we produce energy, how we grow food, and how we survive climate shocks. In that sense, pumps are not just infrastructure, they're instruments of resilience. This is Next Stop, Green Business. I'm Marielle with State of Green, and I'm on the road across Denmark visiting companies that prove climate action and competitiveness go hand in hand. From factories to service stations to sleek HQs, every stop brings a new perspective on why green business is good business. And I'm taking you along for the ride. What you're hearing right now is the sound of a pump test basin at Grundfos Sales and Service Center, just outside of Copenhagen. I visited Grundfos Group Head of Sustainability, Louise Koch, at the service center to understand the role of blue solutions in the green transition.
So in essence, our pumps are helping our customers, our end users, in communities, in cities, in companies, in water utilities, provide access to water, which is, of course, a completely essential resource on a daily basis. It's helping them reduce energy in their use of water and pumps, and then also increasingly helping to adapt to climate changes. And that is, again, a mix of both reducing your water consumption overall, and you can do that by not wasting water, but also by reusing. We talk more and more about circular water. So really making sure that you are treating and reusing the water fit for purpose. And then last but not least, adapt to the water shocks, whether it's flooding or water scarcity.
Yeah. As Louise takes me through the sales and service center, she admits that it can be hard to sell the importance of a product that is often overlooked and hidden away. Most people don't even know what kinds of pumps they have in their basement, including myself.
I think we have probably one of the challenges there, that the pumps are invisible. I mean, if I ask you what kind of pump do you have in your basement, I'm not sure you would know, right?
Not at all.
So you know, pumps is not something that we care too much about. They are the hidden heroes there.
We can all agree that we need water. We need it in homes, in cities, and in businesses. Still, we tend to undervalue it. But the truth is, it's only a matter of time before we run out or get run over by water.
I mean, if you don't have enough water around, then there won't be enough drinking water for communities, and there wouldn't be enough for economic purposes as well. And then on the other end of the spectrum, with the too much water in the flood risk, again, we've also just been doing a water risk assessment in our own operations and in our supply chain, because it's really not a matter of if you'll be hit by a water incident. The question is when and where.
This is exactly why water solutions and pumps are essential in dealing with the risks of climate change. We need pumps to move water. But in the process, they also consume large amounts of energy. So Grundfos is faced with a common conundrum for businesses in the green solution space. As the company grows, so does its emissions.
No, I think definitely the biggest challenge we have, which we share with a lot of other companies who make products that run on electricity. And by the way, ours is easier than products that run on other fuels. But that is, of course, because 99% of our emissions are in the use of our products. When our business grows, so will our carbon emissions. So the key task here is to decouple carbon emissions from growth, or growth from carbon emissions, depending on how you see it.
This decoupling exercise is hard, especially the parts that require trying to nudge end users to act differently. We stumble upon a good example of this on the tour as we pass the service station for pumps. Grundfos is working to extend the lifespan of their pumps by offering take-back and repair services to their customers. But even as most people have become more aware of the importance of circular consumption, it's hard to break existing habits and systems. Has the demand for the take-up program sort of also been increasing as people get more aware of the possibilities?
To some degree, but it's really uphill. But we've seen the same in the tech sector, right? There is plenty of mobile phones laying at home in people's drawers, right? And I think with the circulator pumps, the difficulty is that they are always part of a bigger system. And it's typically the installers who are then taking that out and then taking it back. So there's sort of existing streams where this is being handled already that we are seeking to sort of intersect and say, no, you know what, we can get more value out of those pumps than the recycling station can. So, but it's a lot of awareness raising and making it easy and convenient.
Yeah. The one thing they can control is the energy efficiency of their pumps. And this has become a core part of Grundfos sustainability efforts.
But it's a nut to crack, and this is why, again, we do the one lever that we really control is the energy efficiency. It's guiding and advising our customers, the customers that are still using standard pumps, old pumps, to transition to more energy efficient, because there in itself there is a reduction in carbon emissions for them and for us.
The fact that the vast majority of Grundfos emissions are happening downstream in their value chain is addressed in their current sustainability strategy. It denotes an important shift in the way businesses understand their opportunity to make a meaningful difference beyond internal operations and output.
Our previous water strategy, we focused on reducing water in our own operations and reducing water for end users. Now we are expanding to cover across our entire value chain and beyond. So we start with looking at identifying risk of reducing water impacts and mitigating risks to business continuity in our supply chain and in our own operations, and being able to really measure and manage and monitor water on a range of parameters, not only the withdrawal, but also the consumption, the discharge, etc.
The North Star of Grundfos sustainability efforts is their 2050 net zero target. In 2022, Grundfos was actually the first organization in the water solutions sector to receive full validations of its 2050 net zero target from the Science Based Target Initiative. And while Louise is proud that Grundfos has set an ambitious example, she knows that the road ahead is long and that she won't be able to face it successfully if she goes alone.
Sustainability is a moving target. The world is evolving and developing every day. So one thing is to have a target, but that's like, okay, that's when you start the marathon, really, right? So I think the point is, again, and I keep coming back to it, it's a team sport. It is so important to have the collaboration in place to orchestrate sustainability. It's naive to think that I'm leading sustainability, but I'm doing my best to orchestrate and remove barriers and ensure people understand what it is, and that there are resources and that we solve all the barriers that come across. So, yeah.
When I ask Louise if the task ahead can feel unmanageable at times, she reminds me that Grundfos' sustainability journey has already been a long one. 80 years ago, founder Paul Due Jensen couldn't find a pump of sufficient quality to irrigate a local farm in Denmark. So, he took matters into his own hands and developed one himself in his basement. What started with one pump to help a local farmer grew into a global business. And it's that pioneering spirit that motivates Louise and her colleagues.
So I think in terms of also that one word that describes Grundfos, it's pioneering. It's in our purpose of pioneering solutions. It's in also the ethos, the mindset of our founder, who said the world is full of problems that can be solved in a better way. And it's so simple, but it's such a powerful reminder every day. Look around, there's always things we can do smarter.
For Grundfos, after 80 years of putting water on the agenda, it's clear that the smartest thing to do is recognize water as the key to true sustainability and resilience. In a world where priorities are shifting and resources are stretched, it's not just the right thing to do, it's also good business.
And yes, the world is changing. There are new priorities in terms of competitiveness, in terms of defense, and that definitely is important. And as you say, that means that sustainability has moved down the to-do list a little bit. There is only so much time and money available to drive things. But we actually see that it doesn't have to fall behind, because we see that sustainability go very well hand in hand with competitiveness, with green transition still to a future, and also with resilience. So yes, I do hope that once we get our head above the water, as well as a global business community and community, that we see that it is still so important to care for people, care for human rights in the way you run your business.
Thank you to Louise Koch for sharing the Grundfos story, and thanks for listening. From moving water to moving energy, we're continuing our journey with another often unsung hero of the green transition: cables. That's at our next stop, NKT. I hope to see you there.